From spooky games to chill games, it's always a fun time watching his streams. Whether he's discussing different things, mental health topics, or just being trolled by his chat, it's never a dull moment. My guest tonight is a wonderful person, one of the absolute chillest, like vibe-wise, and one of the absolute nicest and most amazing people I've come across on Twitch. I would love to welcome today's guest, Kit, known as MrKitsuneSoba, to this episode of Twitch Tea Time. So as I always say, in this space, we are going to talk about everything from gaming to Twitch, social media life, 2023, plans for 2024, as well as some mental health topics and more. So just grab a drink, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Starting with the first segment, which is called The Road to Twitch and Gaming. First things first, tell me, how are you doing today?
I am doing pretty good. I am on the tail end of recovering from a little bit of a cold and some chest congestion, so I apologize if I cough. But otherwise, I'm doing fantastic. I have been grinding out some Battle Pass on Fortnite today, so it's been nice and relaxing.
I've not quite been around for all of it, but I seen you streaming. You do stream a lot on your server, like you do run series, movies. Sometimes you keep going so on and so on. How did you decide to do that? I
do. So I would find myself a lot of the time at night. I'm pretty isolated where I live. And I would find myself sometimes at night just being really bored, looking for, just someone to be around, because not being around people IRL sometimes is a little bit taxing, and it's nice to, just have a little interaction sometimes. And there weren't a lot of places that I felt like I could go. And we started doing movie nights in Discord a while back, and I decided everyone enjoyed them so much and we were having fun, and I thought about those nights that I was stuck, not really having anything to do. And I was like, I don't have a TV in my room, so when I watch TV at night when I'm here, it's on my computer, and I was like, I could easily just share my screen in Discord. And then, if anyone is bored and they want to drop in and hang out, they can. Sometimes I leave it going, because I fall asleep watching TV all the time. I'll leave it going after I fall asleep, though, if anyone wants to drop in, just looking for something to do. Sometimes it's nice just to have, even... most of the time, I think we even have our mics muted. We're just hanging out, just having that,
just vibing?
Silent... Just, that silent companionship. Have you ever just wanted to, be in a room with someone, but, you don't want to, have to, carry on a conversation or interact, but, you also don't really want to, just sit there by yourself?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. So I leave it on, and when I'm back and forth from my computer, a lot of times I'm working on my video editing or doing other stuff. I just leave it going and pop in and out, say hi, just give people a safe place to relax if they feel like it.
Yeah, not many people do that though. That's a great idea. So can you tell us about how you discovered Twitch and how you decided to become a streamer and how you took off?
So I discovered Twitch. I worked at GameStop for 7 years, and for the last 5 years,
wow.
I was a store manager, and so I was in the store a lot, anywhere from 44 to 50 hours a week.
Oh my god!
And GameStop TV would talk about Twitch a lot, and they started having segments where they had people that were working for GameStop TV as hosts had started as streamers, and gaming, entertainment, all that stuff has always fascinated me. Movies, anything of that nature, that media,
showbiz, entertainment,
has just that kind of not necessarily showbiz, but just the craftsmanship, like more of like that medium of art, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah.
Kind of fascinated me, and Meg Cayley was actually one of the ones that I watched a lot of, and she had like her old YouTube videos up, and I started watching them, and I toyed around with the idea of doing Twitch, but hats off to the people out there that work full-time jobs and still find time to stream, because I could not do it. I did not have the spoons or bandwidth. But then I got, we'll say sick. I wasn't like sick, but I had some health issues that led to a couple complicated surgeries, and I found myself unable to walk for a little bit.
Oh my God, yeah.
So after being stuck in a chair for a little while, I was like, well, and I just kind of dove into it. And after doing it for a little while and meeting some people and just kind of like talking to other streamers on Twitter and on Twitch and stuff, kind of figuring out, like how the etiquette works, stuff like that. It just kind of, I've never really felt like I've steered it, like it just kind of felt like it got like, not in cruise control either, but it just kind of has just grown into its own thing over time.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was ever a moment that I ever really took off. I don't consider myself very popular.
Well,
but
yeah.
Yeah, it was, it has been one of the best journeys that I've ever been on in my life. I will say that for sure.
Oh yeah. I can assure you, everybody who's listening today, like, I've met Kit through JR Cash, who rated into him. I'm out for JR Cash, and like, I was like, I've kind of seen your starting soon screen. Like, someone spoke about it, the old one where you had like the noodles on screen at your starting stream. Yeah. So someone had like shared this, and he's like, oh my God, he has the best. Like, you were a complete stranger to me back then. Like, that was like at the peak of when I like was asked to mod for JR, and then someone was like, oh, I was gazing at someone who had like this noodle starting screen, and it's so wholesome. I'm like, I was looking through his Discord, and I'm like, Then when he rated into you, I'm like, oh my God, is that the guy with the noodle starting screen? Then I went.
That's so flattering.
Yeah, no, really, like Kit knows what he's doing when it comes to streaming, like his overlays, how he places things. Don't tell me you didn't take off. Like, you're doing things how they should be done. Like, I'm being honest, like transparent. Like,
other than a schedule.
I don't have a schedule, like, yeah, so you don't need a schedule to like know what you're doing. Like, the overlays is just jaw-dropping. Like, honestly, I've never seen someone put that much effort into something better than Kid did. Like, honestly, hats off.
It's really fun. I really enjoy like video editing and kind of getting into the background of like how things work and kind of like finagling with them technology-wise. Don't ever ask me to take apart like some kind of object. Like, if you tell me to take apart your toaster and fiddle with it and then put it back together again, you're not going to have a toaster anymore. But from like a editing and like creating things standpoint, I really enjoy that. It gives me a lot of serotonin when my brain is chaos.
Yeah. So do you remember what was the first game you ever streamed?
I do. Well, okay, so technically there are two.
Okay.
So I will say, before, like, I feel like I came to Twitch twice. Because at one point, I played. This is kind of off topic. I'm sorry. My brain is.
It's okay. Don't worry.
It's the big ADHD.
Well, yeah.
So I've played Final Fantasy 14 for going on 5 years now, and I started a guild on there and made a lot of online friends, and that was really my first like step into the online gaming scene. Really. And I was on PlayStation. I didn't own a computer, and a bunch of them that I gamed with in 14 wanted to see the new Last of Us game because it was a PlayStation exclusive. Last of Us 2 when it came out on PS4, I think. So I made a Twitch account just to stream for them because since I didn't have a computer, I couldn't stream in Discord and stuff. And it was literally just to stream to them. That was all it was. Blah, blah, blah. I got lucky and made affiliate from that because there were like 5 of us that were playing the game together. And then, you know, like once I finished that, like I was done. Like I didn't really make a Twitch account to be like a streamer. I was just sharing that with them. But when after the surgery, when I like came to Twitch and was like, all right, like I want to, you know, like see what being a streamer is about. The first game that I ever streamed was Fatal Frame: Maiden of Blackwater. I am a big fan of horror.
Oh yeah.
And anime. That was like the perfect chef's kiss for me.
Yeah. So out of all the horror games, this is the question that came to mind right now. Which franchise or which horror game is your favorite of all?
Oh, gosh. Oh no.
Well,
not a favorite question. No, it's okay. So I would say for a franchise for me, see, this is such a loaded question. I want to say Resident Evil because that's probably the horror franchise that I've played the longest. Has a little bit of competition with Silent Hill, but I have been a diehard Resident Evil fan since back on my like original PlayStation 1. Like I have literally played from the beginning. I have played every game that has ever come out. But I do feel like at a certain point, like maybe like going into like Resident Evil 4 or 5, they kind of moved away from horror a little bit, but they've kind of come back to it. So I would say that's probably my favorite franchise. For my favorite horror game of all time, just one.
Well,
I would say, oh god, the long awkward pause.
Actually, there is music in the background, so don't worry about it.
Okay, perfect. Enjoy the music. I am very, very tempted to say Dead Space. Not the remake, the original, back when I played it for the first time when it came out. But it has a lot of competition with Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
They're kind of tied. I don't know if I can pick between the two because they're so different.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to pick one, like pick 3 of them later on, so that's gonna be a
okay. Oh god. Oh no.
Yeah. What are your limits regarding your streams? Like, what would piss you off? What's the big no-no? What's allowed? What isn't?
There's not a lot. Like, I don't have a whole lot of, you know, like rules, so to speak.
Yeah. Let me like
or anything.
Phrase it this way. Like, what's the trigger moment where like you say like, okay, no, that's it. Like, please step away, or like maybe issue a ban or something. When does it reach this point?
Like things that would immediately like piss me off or like big no-nos would be like, so a big thing for me for what I play is games with like, I really enjoy games that have a strong narrative, that tell a story, and I try to mostly stream games that I've never played before so that everyone can see like my reaction. So spoilers really get under my skin. Which it happens. It can be accidents because, you know, there are sometimes I go back and play games that are very old and, you know, people are like, oh, you know, like obviously you've played this before, it's old. But, you know, like being new to having a PC and stuff, there are some things that I'm still, you know, like stumbling across that I've never had a chance to experience. So, you know, like I totally understand like a once, but if someone does it repetitively, that's like an instant
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then anything like I feel like the rest are kind of, you know, like the general, you know, like bullying, harassment, like speaking like uncomfortably or in a like demeaning way to myself or to other, you know, viewers. Like if someone comes in and they're like, oh my God, like you can't freaking shoot, your aim sucks, you know, like that kind of stuff. Homophobia. Will not talk about it or like tolerate it. I mean, just I think that's pretty much it. I'm pretty much easygoing.
Yeah. So what games have you finished already?
Oh, that's a list. So we're really close to being done with. We're playing the 2013
Tomb Raider
right now, and we're very close to finishing that.
The first, the second, or the third, or all of it?
We're gonna play through all three of them, but we're only close to finishing the first one.
The first, okay.
Yep. And yeah, I know I do mostly horror, but I do like my.
I love this Tomb Raider trilogy is my favorite, honestly.
Yeah, it's hands down. I love seeing Laura's origin story and just like how she came to be the Croft that we know from like, because I grew up with Tomb Raider. I'm also fanboy super excited about playing the 1, 2, and 3 remasters that came out on Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of people play that, and honestly, some people were like saying like, oh, why didn't we have like her guns and stuff in the like new trilogy? And I'm like, hello, origin story.
Yeah, like it happened before, right? So I'm very excited. So that was what sparked me going back and playing this old trilogy, because I was like, I really want to play the new one, but I'd kind of like to play them in order, because I'm hoping that they remastered this trilogy because their hope is to move forward with the series, because they said that they were done with Laura's origin story, but they are going to make more games. So I'm hoping they remastered this trilogy so that we can see Laura continue to grow. So I was like, I kind of want to play through them in order. So that's kind of like my little side project for stream right now. I do mostly horror, but I have my favorites and I like to share that with the community. So we're almost done with Tomb Raider, but we have finished another non-horror game that we played was Final Fantasy 16, which was probably one of the most emotional experiences and the most that I've seen. Like, I've seen so many community members simultaneously get so invested and like literally cry with me. That was a beautiful experience.
I think I was there for that stream.
You were there for you were there for a lot of it. So those were some of the like. I loved it so much. Like we did like every night that I streamed, we streamed for like almost 18 hours.
Oh my!
Because it was so good, I just couldn't stop.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Madison was also really good. I thought that was a very different indie horror. I really enjoyed that. We played 9 Child Street, The Beast Inside, Blair Witch.
Yeah.
A few Chila's art games, of course. We did the Dark Pictures anthology, The Devil in Me. I am a huge Dark Pictures fan, Supermassive games in general, Until Dawn, all of those. I love them. I played most of them before I streamed, so it was really nice to be able to share that with the community as my first experience with that one. And Choo Choo Charles, the Dead Space remake, Stray, because we love cats, Summer of 58, and not necessarily beaten on stream, but we frequent Final Fantasy 14. I mentioned I've played that for a long time. Dead by Daylight, Fortnite, and Palia.
Yeah. So since you mentioned that you love anime and horror, did you know that they're making, or actually not they're making, they made the Digimon series into horror? They turned it into horror?
Is that so? I saw some Digimon, concept art and stuff from like a new game that was coming out, and I was like, "This actually looks kind of like post-apocalyptic,
it's
like
not
scary."
A game. It's an anime.
Oh, an anime.
Yeah, they kind of want to continue the series like that, so I bet it's like a spin-off / continuation.
That will be right up my alley because I watched a lot of Digimon when I was a kid. I kept up I fell off, like
Yeah.
at some point. I think the last one I watched was where oh my god. Did you watch a lot of Digimon?
I grew up to Digimon, yeah.
Okay, so I think it was like the third set. I don't think it was the third season per se, but like the third set of like new heroes or like new Digimon trainers, for lack of a better word, because I'm thinking Pokemon. Where it was the guy and he had was it Graumon, the red dinosaur? Like, he kind of looked like Agumon, but
don't remember.
He was red,
names.
And then there was and the girl had had like the golden fox that had all the tails.
I know one of them was named Izzy. Do you remember that?
I fell off in the middle of that season, which was like the third installment in the series, because you had the first season, which had Tai, which had Tai, and then you had like the second season that had TK and Kairi, and I think Tai's like other little brother.
Oh my god,
I love TK. TK had Palmon.
Oh my god, I'm shivering.
So it was
now.
Whoever.
Oh my god.
Sorry. Whoever were the kids that came after that generation. I think his name may have been Day. Maybe it started with a D. I don't remember.
Yeah, so the game is called Digimon Survive, and the anime is called Digimon Ghost Game.
Digimon Survive is the one that I saw the concept art for and thought it looked a little bit more edgy than they'd been in the past.
Yeah, Digimon Ghost Game had 68 episodes, and like the last one was on March 26, 2023.
Nice. I will have to look into it then.
It is like gory, by the way.
Perfect. We love it.
I am so looking forward to it. So yeah, that came to my mind. Like, would you ever stream Digimon Survive if you ever could?
Possibly. I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yeah, it's such an expensive game though.
I think the only thing that tore me about Digimon Survive was because I wasn't sure if I'd be a fan of the gameplay from what I saw. Because it didn't look like... I very much like open world games where you have like a third person perspective from the character, where you can like walk around and stuff. And it looked like Digimon Survive was a lot of like what's very common, with like a lot of JRPGs and stuff. Which like they're story based, but it's mostly reading, and you don't really control the character except for like you don't really control the character outside of battles.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of what it looked like. I don't know if that's how it is, but
yeah, I don't know either. So what do you define gaming to be for you?
Define gaming to be for me? I mean, it's anytime you, for me, gaming is either putting on something multiplayer where I can experience something with friends, just like doing things that we can't do in real life, like experiencing like these fantastic worlds and having all these abilities, or booting up like a story-based game by myself and like putting myself in the shoes of that character or characters and experiencing this story and learning from it. Like that's kind of like, like obviously some are like a little bit more, like open brain, just being like creative, like it's anything that you can use to like express yourself in any way, really, whether it's expressing yourself to or with friends, expressing like your art, if it's like, like decorating in a game, like doing something like that, like testing your brain for, like memory, and like it's really, it's different for everyone, but that's what it means to me.
Yeah. So what can we expect from you on Twitch in the future?
Well, I would, if my internet will keep its crap together, I would love to make partner before this year is over.
Ooh.
I have decided after Final Fantasy 16 that, so when I originally started streaming, I decided that what I went into was that at first I told myself that all I was going to stream was horror games, because I had IRL friends that, like growing up and later in life, we had all of these like moments like Dead Space, for instance, like it was a birthday present and everyone like we booted it up and I played while like, like all my friends were around and like we screamed and like everyone just was like always like, they were like would tell me, they were like, oh my God, like you get scared so easy, like your reactions are priceless. And
Yeah.
I'm not exactly a very skilled game player.
Yeah.
I have my moments where I can pull off something incredibly impressive, but trust me, they're flukes.
Yeah.
So I know that like it always made my friends laugh, and that's what I wanted to do for people. I wanted to make them laugh and get to see someone else enjoy something the way that they did. And I was like, growing up, I was a big fan of horror. So was my grandmother, who I was very close to. So it was like kind of a thing, like a family thing for me. As my channel grew, the community that I discovered on Twitch just completely blew my mind. It was incredible. I don't even know if I can add it. Like, I don't even know if I can put it into words, the amount of like support and companionship and common ground that you find with people there. And I, over the past 2 years, have found myself wanting to share other things about myself that I enjoy with the community more. And playing Final Fantasy 16 on stream for so long, like really was very outside of my box that I had put myself in.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that you don't have to put yourself in a box. And I've decided that I want to share more of, like the other aspects of gaming and stuff that I enjoy with my community and share all of these experiences with them. So I am going to branch out more frequently into non-horror games, action adventure RPGs. Variety. Yeah, I do still want to keep a horror focus because I am a diehard horror fan.
Yeah.
But I think you'll also see a little bit more variety from me this year.
Yeah. So that's a kind of like a general question. How many hours a day or a week do you spend on Twitch, like besides streaming?
I'm almost never not on Twitch. I have a couple lurk tabs up pretty much 24/7, unless it's a really low spoon day and I'm just like barely hanging on, like functioning. But I would say like, just because I don't see a reason not to, like just like throw some support out there, hang out somewhere, have a lurk, like I don't always get a chance to talk. I would say as far as like hanging out and chatting in streams, probably about anywhere from 2 to 4 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Yeah. So your channel is, like, of course, labeled 18 plus. Sometimes chat can get like a little, let's say, horny or thirsty. A lot of these moments come off as hilarious. There's also a Twitch bot most people, including myself, use called Butspot. Can you explain about it to those who don't know of it?
So, Butspot is a really fun thing to implement and to chat if you want, and it doesn't have to be, like. It doesn't have to be butts, but what it does is it will randomly, at intervals that you can customize, it will buttify, or whatever word of your choosing.
Buttify.
Based on syllable count in a sentence, it will buttify parts or entire words and sentences, sometimes making them absolutely hilarious, sometimes they're duds, but they're very frequently fun. So, like if butts aren't your thing, you want to keep it a little bit more PG or G, like you could set the word to something else. You can set it to how frequently it does it.
Yeah.
Or you can make it more inappropriate, which my community loves.
Yeah. So my friend has a redeem that like every stream, instead of like first, she has it as like first change or set Butspot's word. Then she has like a redeem that costs even more. Change Butspot's word. So in another channel I was in the other day, on the 25th of February, I was watching her, another person, and I had Buttspot. I said like I have an itch on my nose, and then Buttspot replies, "I have an itch on my butt." Yeah,
That's perfect.
yeah. I'm like, do you want me to scratch it for you?
So, so
Yeah.
my chat has decided that for now we've only changed it once. I don't know if we'll change it again, but they have decided that
It's gonna be Bussy. Yeah.
Buttspot is going to be Bussybot.
Bussy. Yeah. I mean,
Which has made some very colorful sentences.
you can, if you have like a track of all what Buttspot has said, you can make a channel on your Discord just like to dump them there, like what I see in most channels I'm in, servers.
We do. So we have a we have
yeah.
a quote bot in Discord and in stream, and when Buttspot does the really good ones, we usually add them to our what my community has begun to call the grimoire, because
yeah.
there are so many.
Yeah. I do remember
but we
some
try
of
not
yours.
to quote
Yeah.
Buttspot too often. But we do have a couple good screenshots.
Yeah, I do have a few screenshots in the server. Save Bussy. Organization puzzle. This is the Bussy for it. Yeah, and then talking to them like face to Bussy or VR to Bussy. Bussy instead of through chat. I'm really going to have to Bussy load and look into this myself honestly. And then there's one, the eggs choice will be discussed. Like it was just eggs in the channel instead of butt.
What was the one? Buttspot did a really good one the other day, and everyone demanded that it be quoted. And why can I not remember what it said? Hang on, I have it.
Yeah, so someone I once said like ASL, which means age, sex, location, and then Buttspot is like ASL is butt, sex, location. I'm like, what?
This one was really good.
Yeah.
Odd posted in chat that something in their house was really loud and creaks a lot, and Buttspot decided to buttify that and say, "My Bussy screams loud and creaks a lot." So that was a good one.
Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, at some point you have to like maybe turn them into like a book or something and publish it for whoever wants it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have I could make a book out of. We're at 539 quotes so far.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And like probably only like 20 of them are Buttspot.
Yeah. Some channels I know like are doing that actually.
It's a really cute idea.
Yeah. So let's move away from Buttspot and then talk about a very cute guest that you have very often on your streams. You also have a cat, Tyrion. Can you tell us a little bit like backstory about the cat, please?
Of course. Tyrion steals the show very frequently. My running line in stream is that I have two cats, but my other cat is very elusive and camera shy.
I did not know that. Yeah.
But Tyrion, he is a solid black little void kitty. My other one, not Tyrion.
Okay. Tyrion is more orange, from what I remember.
Yeah. So even when you can see Howl on camera, you can't, because he just blends in because he's so dark. He is afraid to get on camera, but he's just as loving as Tyrion. But Tyrion is a camera hog. He eats it up. I don't know how he knows.
A diva for
when I'm streaming. A diva. My running line in stream is that Tyrion is the streamer. I just play the games for him because he doesn't have thumbs.
He's just like, okay, kid, where are you in the game? I'm checking up on you. Are you playing well?
It's the cutest thing. He always knows when I get a raid, and I don't know how. I've tested it off stream. Like I've played the raid alert sound to see if maybe he just hears, like he knows my raid sound, and he hears it over my headphones. You know, cats can hear really well, and that doesn't work. And you know, like I've been like, "Welcome in, raiders. How's it going?" Like I'm doing it right now, and he's not coming over here. He doesn't care. But I get a raid on stream, And he comes running up and he jumps on the arm of my gaming chair. And he sits and he wants pets and he wants me to introduce him to everyone. And then when he's done, he'll go back to laying down.
Yeah,
After he's had
I think he has like a secret cell phone somewhere that he's watching you.
Probably. I think he uses my laptop while I'm not live.
Yeah.
At one point, my mod bot was named Tyrion,
Yeah,
and
I do remember that. Yeah.
my mod bot's Twitch page said that it was Tyrion on my laptop, but I was worried it was confusing for people because a couple people came in and when the bot would like say something or welcome, they would reply to it, and I was like, oh, I should probably just make it a generic bot name. But anyways,
Yeah.
So Tyrion, so before I worked at GameStop, I was a vet tech for a few years, and Tyrion was a patient that was brought in by some regular clients that we had that had a Great Dane.
Aww.
He had wandered onto their property with little bit of graphic warning, I suppose.
Yeah, no worries.
His face was scarred and his eye was hanging down out of its where it should be.
Yeah.
And it was the weirdest thing. He didn't act like he was in any pain. He was just sweet and loving. He was so young. He maybe barely, if even, should have been weaned from his mother. And they brought him in and we had to do surgery on him. And it was actually one of the first surgeries that I ever got to assist the vet with. And while he was in surgery recovery, every day when I would go into work, I had to be there early to TPR and medicate the surgery recovery animals and anyone that was staying over the night that was just like sick or whatever. And every morning when I would walk past his cage, he would reach his paw out of the grate and grab my scrubs.
Aww.
On the arm because he was in a top cage and he would be like at shoulder height to me at every time. It never failed. And after he finished recovering, I was really sad to see him go, but they took him back home and they decided that they were going to keep him. And their Great Dane that they had was just didn't understand how little Tyrion was, and they ended up having to keep Tyrion in a small room in the house. And they wanted him to go somewhere where he would have more space and could live a more fulfilled life. And they brought in some flyers to the clinic and asked if we could hang them up. And I picked up the flyers and said that there was no need, that I would take him home.
Aww.
And he came home with me that day, and we have been inseparable ever since. He has moved with me, along with Howell, who is his older brother, by like a year. They've been with me to every state that I've lived in, long 8 to 12-hour car rides. We're thick as thieves. I love them to death.
Yeah. How old are they, though?
Howell is coming up on 9.
Oh, wow.
I believe, or 8. Howell is coming up on 8, and no, he is 9. Tyrion is 8.
I was expecting you to
would've...
say like a number with like double digits or something.
Well, it's hard for me to say with Tyrion, and I usually remember Howell's birthday by saying that Howell is a year older than Tyrion because I got Howell almost exactly 1 year earlier, and I would have been.
Okay. Yeah.
All of my 20s are a blur.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
And after moving so much, I don't have any of their paperwork anymore. But I know that I always celebrate Tyrion's birthday in July, and Howell's is in November.
Okay. I was gonna say
because he was right after Halloween.
Yeah.
He was right after Halloween.
Ah, okay.
The more I think about it, they might be 6 and 7. I'm a terrible cat dad.
It's
They're
fine.
just always babies to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's normal. Yeah. So to the new people out there who just started streaming or are thinking about it, what's one advice you want to give them?
If I give them advice, don't worry about numbers.
Exactly. Yeah.
I feel like everyone says that, but like, don't ever worry about numbers. Like, no matter how big or how small you are, like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not about the numbers. I went into Twitch thinking that, like, okay, like, you know, like, there are people that like to play games and there are people that like to watch games. And the people that like to play games are streamers and the people that like to watch games are viewers.
Mhm.
And that's it. They are watching people play the games because they enjoy them, but they don't want to play them themselves. That is not what Twitch is.
Yeah.
Twitch is literally a community of people that have so much in common, that are looking for spaces to unwind from their days, experience emotions, make friends, and you're like, you do, I mean, of course you have people out there that are like looking, you know, like they're logging into Twitch and they're looking for like, you know, how to play through this story, how to 100% this, how to speed run that, blah, blah, blah. But in the end, that's still like a connection and like a common ground that they're finding with someone else, and like watching something that they like enjoy. So like go into it, like you go into it thinking that, you know, like be yourself, or, you know, like whatever person you want to be or want to project out into the world, and know that at some point your people will find that and that you will grow something beautiful out of that, and that everything else will just come with the territory. And don't put yourself in a box. Don't think that you have to do anything the same as any other person, you know? Like, some of that stuff when it comes to like success and that kind of thing, like, it may be the stereotype, and to a certain extent it might be true, but in some ways it is perpetuating negative stereotypes. Like, people, something that like my community always says to me that like always throws me off guard is, I don't care what you play, we're here to see you, not necessarily the game. The game is just a bonus.
Yep, exactly.
So like, be yourself, don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and don't worry about your equipment. Don't watch those tutorial videos. Don't watch the like, well, this is what you need to have. Like, if you don't have this kind of mic or this kind of camera, like, don't even bother, because no one wants to listen to your bad audio on your crappy mic. Like, no, that is not the case. Like, I started out streaming on a PlayStation with a PlayStation headset.
Oh,
That could not have been pleasing.
Oh yeah,
but it didn't matter. But it didn't matter, because it's all about what you do and what you're doing and what you're putting out there, and what you put out there, you will get back.
Exactly. Yeah.
So just don't let anyone bully you. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't because you don't have good enough equipment, or you're not this or you're not that. You know, we're not boxes to check off on a piece of paper. Just like in real life. And the same thing applies to Twitch.
Yeah, that's what I mostly do for like people I support. Like, I like most of the time I like when I go into your streams, I don't watch your gameplay. I mostly like focus on chatting with the community, or just chatting with you and stuff. When I keep you on the background when I'm working, having like a familiar voice sometimes in my headset, just like, okay, I can do this. I can get on with my day. It makes me feel better. Like the other day I had you on when you streamed like 15-16 hours. Like, it made my day go fast. Like, I'm like, oh my god, how is it like noon already? Like, seriously.
I do the same thing whenever I lurk and stuff in streams. Like, when I say I have Twitch tabs open, like pretty much 24/7, I have the volume at, you know, whatever. Some days it might be a little bit louder than others. Some days it's nice and quiet, but it's like just having the comfort of someone nearby, you know, like someone that you know, and they're just hanging out and they're doing, you know, they're doing their thing, they're doing whatever, but like, it's good background noise, you know, like it's better than putting on, you know, like I think something that most people could relate to that, maybe don't understand Twitch or, like haven't really gotten into it or just kind of discovering, Twitch and figuring out what it's going to be for them. Like, do you have like a TV show that you cut on in the background that like you don't really watch, but like you listen to and
yeah.
It's relaxing for you. Like for me, it's like Friends or The Magicians or, something like that. Like I used to keep those on in the background, just watching reruns. And now it's Twitch channels. And what's nice is that, like when I have a good laugh or I'm, like doing a stretch break, getting something to drink, I can, pop over into chat and be like, hey, like, how's it going? And like, just talk to someone. And then when I'm done, I can pop right back out and just go back to my workday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've done that in like when I was streaming. I had like to go into a be right back screen. Then I had like words on stream up, and I totally forgot that I was streaming. So I was watching that stream, and I was like chatting to them for like 5-10 minutes. They were like, "Wait a minute, aren't you streaming?" I'm like, "Oh shit, yes. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna dip out and go back." It happened to me one time. Yeah,
priceless. Oh my god, Blue.
Yeah, so this is why I say like I really enjoy, even if you just said like just lurk, and when I see your name in my like community tab, like oh Kit's here, I'm like aw, like I really enjoy those moments even if you don't chat. I sometimes go into channels where I'm not even very often on there. Like one time I went into this channel that like rated me, then I met, then like 5 months later I'm like, how the hell did I get this diamond? And I'm not even here. They're like, keep it. I'm like, how the hell did I get this sword? I'm like, keep it. I'm like, but I'm not here. They're like, keep it. Yeah, so I don't expect anyone to show up, and they don't have to. They just like keep whatever you want. As long as like we're like good friends or like I really know you, doesn't matter. So final question on this segment. What games you'd never see yourself playing?
It's a relatively easy one.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah.
Because I can't afford to get into another MMO like 14.
Oh yeah.
And maybe Valorant or Apex.
Oh my god, Taboo is gonna like Taboo plays
I know,
a lot.
Taboo, please don't listen to this. Taboo, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. And maybe like kind of Overwatch, but I could see myself playing a little Overwatch because I have so many friends that play it. What gets me about games like Valorant and stuff is I'm not a very competitive person, or well, okay, no, I am a relatively competitive, or I can be a relatively competitive person, and when competition is the focus of a game, I try to like not get into it because I do not like the side of me that it brings out. Yeah. Because I get very angry, and sometimes once I get into like a mood, it's like getting stuck in like a gear, like the transmission just doesn't want to shift up or shift down. Mm-hmm. So I very much avoid those. It's not that the game is bad. It's not that any of the games are bad. It's that I know my limits. I put in a lot of personal work on this old noggin, and I know its triggers. So games like Valorant, and maybe like I don't even know if Apex is competitive the way Valorant is, but I just feel like I already have a game like that, like out of that genre, and that's Fortnite.
Yeah.
And I don't need another one.
Yeah. Now we're gonna go into the lightning round or pop quiz in this new segment. Yeah. So do you mind telling me and the listeners what's your daily routine? Like something you always like to do, it has become regular to you?
Define day.
I mean, like some people think when they first wake up, they have to drink their coffee.
No. I just meant my sleep schedule is terrible / non-existent. So it's It varies. I don't necessarily know that I have anything that is like daily. I don't think there's anything that I do on like a regular basis at the same time. I actually struggle a lot with routine. I don't struggle with keeping a routine. I struggle with routine having negative effects on my brain. So I try to like spice it up a lot. But I will say that I very much enjoy when I wake up. I really enjoy having a warm beverage and some cozy clothes. I get up, I check through my Discord to see if I've missed anything, if there's any news, any updates, how the community's doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes pop into a VC if I'm not already in one from falling asleep the night before, and turn on something on the TV. And like once I'm like satisfied that like my community and like like my friends' communities that I check in on are like everyone's good, everyone's just chilling, doing their thing. I will check all my social media notifications and then I will put my phone away. I do not like having my phone on me a lot during the day.
That's very strange. Yeah.
People find it very weird because people that have my phone number find it very hard to get in touch with me. Because most people stay on their phones, but I have very much enjoyed getting myself used to not being on my phone a lot, because when I go out and I do things now, I don't find myself scrolling my phone or being distracted from, like experiences. Like it goes into a pocket and I just kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like how often do you go to like a park or something and you see someone sitting on a bench just scrolling their phone?
Well,
like I want to go out and look around and, like see what kind of birds I can see and just like explore. So getting myself used to not being able to do that was really good for me. Because I do everything on my computer and I can't get on my computer when I'm not home. So
yeah,
it's nice. Other than that, I don't really have any other daily routines other than like maybe checking for some dailies in games like Palia to make sure, like I get my stuff.
Yeah.
And I always must cuddle with Tyrion before I can go to sleep.
Yeah. So you say that now, but like people started like messaging me throughout the years because I like dropped off of like Instagram. My last post was in 2022. Some people started asking me like, "Are you okay? Are you alive?" I'm like, "I'm doing better than ever. Like, if you want to get in touch with me, I'm not on WhatsApp. I'm like more on Discord." Then I started forcing people to get Discord if they want to talk to me, unless it's like work related and stuff. So I try to keep that away as much as possible from my work life, even though I like modern work sometimes, but still.
Oh yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite meal or comfort food of all time?
Favorite meal?
Or comfort food, yeah.
Probably. All right. So, spaghetti.
Ooh.
Sushi, boba tea, and then like the weirdest one, stuffing. Which sound like stuffing and cranberry sauce. Okay, that sounds so weird. I know, I mean like legitimate like Thanksgiving stuffing and cranberry sauce. Like the box Stouffer's like bread that you just like add butter and water to and fluff with like a fork, and then like some cranberry sauce. My family, what I talk to of them, are spread pretty thin, and we don't do holidays very traditionally. And like even when we are able to get together for like Thanksgiving, we don't do traditional Thanksgiving foods. And I remember when I was a kid growing up, cranberry sauce and stuffing were like my favorite Thanksgiving dishes. And it's honestly just super easy to make. So when I want something like really comforting that makes me feel good, that's one of my quick go-tos. But like my like favorite food, like meal, probably sushi or spaghetti.
Oh yeah.
Or if I'm not in the mood to eat and I need something comforting or want a favorite, it would be boba tea, hands down.
Oh yeah, one of my friends is gonna absolutely love that fact because she has her channel based around boba tea.
Heck yeah. I love some
Yeah,
bubble tea.
yeah. And the perks of me having like a sushi place right across my house. I really love their sushi as well.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I have a place it's not across from my house, but there's a place very close by that is it sounds like it might potentially be sketchy, but it's actually very good and very good quality. It is a all-you-can-eat sushi buffet
Oh no,
and hibachi.
mine
It's
sounds
just
like
not cheap.
a place where you go get high. It's called the sushi joint. Yeah.
Nice.
What is one thing you tell yourself often?
The good ones or the bad ones?
Uh, Anything, maybe when you pep yourself up sometimes.
I tell myself a lot that I can do better. And I know that sounds condescending like towards myself or negative towards myself, but I don't necessarily mean it that way. I feel like it's kind of like a 50-50. Like it's kind of like the negative thoughts that I have to myself along with the positive, like reminding myself that I can do better. Like I'm capable of it. Like I know that I can. And if I'm beating myself up about the fact that I didn't do something like up to my standards or expectations, that again, I am capable of doing better. And
Yeah.
also that there's also reminding myself that there's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
That, like you never stop trying to do better either.
Yeah. So this one is a fan favorite. If you ever were to be any object or creature, real or fictional, what would you be and why?
Any object or creature, real or fictional.
I mean, I would love to be a cactus or maybe like a unicorn with wings.
A cactus?
Yeah.
That is an interesting answer. Why?
I find myself cute, but like with thorns sometimes. Like I could.
Cute but prickly.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
I would like to be. I mean, fictional. Like, if I'm gonna go fictional, I'd have to say a fairy.
Ooh.
Like, and my idea of like the fairies are like, like the ones that like bring about the change of seasons, like dance in the flowers at night or during the day when no one can see, like hand in hand with like nature keeping the world, like going, not like the evil story of like the fae, like, there's every culture has like a different story. I mean like very much the Tinkerbell, as stereotypical as that sounds. But I love the idea of, like people say, like the fairies, like paint the dots on the ladybugs when they're, like old enough and becoming adults, and they fly about at night while you're sleeping and change the colors of the leaves when fall's coming, like that kind of stuff. Like if that were a real thing, that would be me in a heartbeat. Because also like they go all over the world, so I would get to travel. Something realistic?
It's okay. It's up to you. It's just like one choice, whichever you want.
Okay. I was going to say I can't think of anything, but it'd have to be some kind of bird because I, again, want to be able to travel.
It's fine. It's fine. What's your biggest pet peeve?
Biggest pet peeve? Either chewing with your mouth open or repetitive sounds. Like clicking a pen. Yeah. That's the one. That's the one.
Out
that
of anxiety. I used to do that in school.
I mean, I'm guilty of it. I've done it before, like out of anxiety. But when I hear it, once my brain locks on to a repetitive pattern, as long as it is audible, it will steadily grow louder and louder and louder in my head until it drowns everything else out, and I just want to scream. Yeah,
so that's what I guess like happened with the teacher. So what's one thing you cannot live without?
My computer.
Okay.
I mean, I don't talk or socialize with many people like IRL.
Yeah. Outside of work, I don't as well.
Yeah, like I'm pretty closed off, like socially, like outside of like my online communities. So if my computer were gone, I would be completely cut off from everyone.
Same here.
It would be awful.
Same here. I mean, I do have a laptop and I do have my phone and stuff, but like still, like I really have like anxiety attacks every time this PC just struggles because I've recently put in like upgrades. I paid like $600 to have like a 3070 put in, and then a new case with like 9 or 10 fans, and then I had like a lot of things happen. So uh, I don't know what I did, but like recently it like I have to restart it like 5 or 6 times for it to like just boot up. So
Oh
it's like
gosh.
just a format thing. So I'm now struggling with exporting everything from OBS just to have like I don't have anything important. I could just re-download the games, but like that's what's like keeping me afloat, if you know what I mean. Like yeah,
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean.
yeah. So yeah, the struggle is real. um so if this was the last day on Earth, what would you do and how would you spend it? Yeah, I've said this before. I would like actually take my clothes off completely and like go streaking and then like go shout like, we're gonna die tomorrow. We're gonna die tomorrow. Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
I would find somewhere that was relatively central central to a lot of my online friends and go there, tell them that I was going to be there and have like a huge fire and some drinks and just invite all of them and anyone that wanted to come and hang out and just meet each other, share memories, blast music, and just fall asleep on the grass under the stars.
Yeah. So
Drunk as fuck.
oh yeah.
I would just want to be around all of the people that I know and love and just honestly just pretend it wasn't happening. Just have a party like it
Yeah.
wasn't there. Like we were just spending a night out at a cabin in the mountains, just
Yeah.
living it up. And I'd
Uh,
spend every bit of money between, like, I'd be like, let's all throw our money into a pill. Let's get like start knocking things off my bucket list.
So speaking of money, what would you do with $500,000?
$500,000.
Mm-hmm.
I would get myself a nice house that was not too big, but big enough that I could have people stay with me if they ever wanted to. And I would also secure something for my sister
Yeah.
nearby. This is such a boring answer. I would make sure that I gave some to my sister, or well, to my nephew who's 2,
Aww.
to put back for like his school and stuff or anything that he might need. And whatever was left, I would just like once like my living situation was like secure, like I don't think I would really like I mean, I'd definitely get myself a couple video games, but other than that, I'd just get things for my friends that they've always wanted but never had the means to do. Like whether that be like doctor's stuff, dentist appointments, medication, video games, a car within reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like a dependable Honda, not like a Lamborghini.
Oh yeah. Something that gets you from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Same here. Well, I've never answered this question myself, but I will probably just travel the world. I really want to go to Ireland, maybe try and live there at some point. Maybe visit Australia because it's also on my bucket list. But now I can't do anything. My life is like frozen because I'm waiting for my mom to get her American ID. So we'll see about that in like 2 or 3 years, since like she's on the verge of getting it, but I don't have my hopes up.
Well,
of
I
how
have my
strict it
fingers
is.
crossed and my hopes up for you.
I've been like, let's say, air quote, promised that since 2022. So every year is just the same.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Traveling is really big on my list too. But I think that's one thing, like if I didn't have to worry about bills because like my housing and all that stuff was taken care of, I could find a way to make the money to travel, not having to worry about housing expenses and stuff. Because
Yeah.
Ireland is also on my list, along with Greece,
Oh, yeah.
Rome, Bali. Oh my God. It frustrates me that this name just left my brain. It's where Ellen's from.
Ellen.
I know you know Ellen, right? Ellen Screams.
Oh, Ellen. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like
What's her
where
name? Scotland?
over that. No, it's not Scotland. It's like where, kind of like over in the general area where they filmed like the Lord of the Rings. What? Not
Wales?
Nebraska. New Zealand.
Oh, New Zealand.
I was
She's
like,
from
it's
there?
kind of over. She's Norwegian, I believe. Is what I was trying to
okay.
think.
Yeah, Norway.
I knew that if I remembered Norwegian, I would remember New Zealand.
Well, that's two opposite side of the world.
Well, I know, but they sound similar. I was specifically trying to remember the word Norwegian because I was like, what's that place Ellen's from? It'll remind me of the name of the place I'm thinking about. It's New Zealand. And I guess Australia, but Australia got some bugs and big. I don't know if I want to go to Australia.
Yeah. What's one thing you spend a lot of money on besides gaming?
Stream stuff, honestly. And outside of stream stuff, books, coffee mugs, and collectibles in general, like video game replicas or anime statues, pop Funkos, that kind of stuff.
So, in your opinion, what do you think is the worst invention ever?
The mobile phone.
You're not the first person to say that.
That's not a very. I feel like that's. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like it's not a very common thing, but like one thing that really frustrates me about people having mobile phones is that like it has become like the expectation that like instead of it being a way for you to contact someone else, no matter where you are, it's turned into more of a way for like other people to contact you no matter where you are.
Yeah.
And like, well, not necessarily even connecting people. Like it frustrates me that people assume like, oh, like you're not at work, you have a mobile phone, so no matter where you were, you could have picked up the phone. Why didn't you answer my phone call? Like, well, no, just because I have a mobile phone doesn't mean that I'm punching your time clock and have to drop whatever I'm doing every time you ring it. And I don't have to be busy. Maybe I don't have the energy. Maybe I don't have the spoons. Like maybe like it's become like a
burden,
a leash.
Okay, yeah.
In a way, and that frustrates me. I remember like early 90s, like if you called someone, you called their house phone, and if they didn't answer, like, oh well, maybe they're not home, and that was it. You know, like nowadays, like work calls you on your day off, and you're in trouble for not picking up the phone and coming in because there's no reason that you should have not answered the phone or returned their call. And I don't like that kind of like it, like owning a mobile device shouldn't make you beholden to any other person. And that just like drives me crazy.
Yeah. So what is one of your all-time favorite songs?
Honestly, I don't know if I can pick a song. I will be 100% real with you, but like anything Ella Fitzgerald, Casey Musgraves, Paramore, or
Oh my
God.
God.
Nobuo Uematsu.
Oh my God. Mine would be Midnight City by MA3. You clearly heard this song. It's very disco-y. You can hear it in GTA as well.
You know I don't play GTA.
I'm pretty sure.
I would probably recognize it if I heard it. I'd be willing to bet. I just don't recognize the name.
I mean, hold on. You can just, if you wanna, you can just have a look at it. But I am pretty sure that you will recognize it once you hear it.
I probably will.
Yeah. What's your all-time favorite movie?
All-time favorite movie? Any of the Ghibli movies, or
oh wow,
yeah, Eat, Pray, Love, or Little Black Book.
Kinda lost my affection to my favorite movie, which was like kind of like a sad movie about cancer, The Fault in Our Stars.
Oh yeah,
that movie made me cry, and I'm not a crier. I never cry. That movie made me cry every time I watch it, and I own it on Blu-ray and I own it on DVD, which came in the same box. So, well, I'm gonna go very cliche answer and say like Shrek.
Yeah, Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
All of them actually, and I'm waiting for Shrek 5.
I do really love the Shrek movies.
Yeah. Tell us one funny moment that happened to you recently on stream that you can never forget.
I don't know if I can really like properly describe this, but the clip is up on my channel because it was priceless. I have actually watched the clip 6 times today.
The one you sent earlier?
Yes. Yep, that's the one. Yeah. For something that's happened to me on stream recently, I died.
I mean,
I
Lara can have like very stupendous or like very
It
silly
was so
acrobatic
funny.
moments. Yeah.
We were playing Tomb Raider, and I came up like we finished this like tomb puzzle, and the way out was like this like fallen, hollowed out pillar that had water flowing through it, and I like screamed in delight. Like I was like, "Oh my god, water slide!" And like I ran forward and jumped into it, and Laura like I don't even know what happened. She like hit it, I guess, at a weird angle.
She
I don't
did a
know.
pirouette
She
or
bounced
something?
off like she bounced off the bottom of the hollowed out stone, hit the left-hand side, both her legs went sideways and hit her head on the roof of it, and then flipped over forwards, and then came out the end of the tunnel, smacked her head on a rock, and then fell on the ground. And I
my
just
God.
sat there for a minute, just like stunned. And then I was just like, girl, that's not how you go down a water slide. And I get like one of my community members, actually one of my mods, clipped it, and I have watched it on repeat the past couple days.
Yeah.
And I can't describe the physics of it,
Yeah.
but it was really good. A water slide! Girl, that is not how you water slide.
If your life was ever to be either a movie, a TV show, or a video game, what would it be named and why?
Movie, TV show, or game. It's too bad a series of unfortunate events is already taken, because that would have been a real good ringer.
I mean, you can name it Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Mine would be called just like, what the fuck?
That's perfect. Oddly perfect. Maybe Growing Pains, if that's not already a thing. I would name it that because, like, I have had a very colorful life that hasn't always been the easiest, but has had plenty of great moments. But I am always learning, and I feel like I've never stopped growing. Like, just like not necessarily just like physically, you know, like from going from like a child to like an adult, but like the growing, like those like quote unquote like physical growing pains, like keep going emotionally as you get older. You know, like dealing with like physical health, mental health, stuff like that.
Powering
like,
through,
just never stops.
Yeah.
It's the best way to sum it up.
Yeah. So if you had one special superpower, what would it be and why, and how would you use it?
Could it just be like any superpower?
Anything at all. Mine is easy. It's teleportation.
Healing.
Nice.
If I could just like heal anything, like not like, you know, like I'm not gonna go around like I'm not talking about like first aid, you know, like someone gets a scrape on their knee, but like big stuff. I've dealt with a lot of health issues over the past couple years that have been like nonstop, and they seem to be constantly deteriorating. And I know that feeling, and like looking for like a diagnosis, trying to get healed, and going through all these answers, jumping through all these hoops for all these doctors, and just never getting anything, and like all the while just being miserable, just struggling to exist. If I could pick any superpower and like the power to just like take that away from people, that I would be it. And I would start with myself. You can't pour from an empty cup. So I would finally just, I don't care what I have. I don't care what's wrong with me. Just fix it. And then I would just keep doing it for everyone that I possibly could.
That's a very interesting thing. I've never had any guests say that.
I think about it all the time, just because like my doctors still don't know what's wrong with me, and like things have just always kept getting worse. So like, and it's just always, you know, like you go to your regular doctor, they, you know, like they refer you to a specialist, and that takes like 2 to 3 weeks, and then you go to the specialist, and the specialist has like a pre-screening, and then after you have the pre-screening, at the pre-screening they schedule you for like a regular appointment, which takes like another 3 to 4 weeks, and like and then they run tests, and then you have to wait for tests to come back, and then it's inconclusive, or you have to go to a different specialist, and it just starts all over. And like on the meanwhile, like one of my issues is that like I can't breathe well, so you know like kind of have to do that. So in the meantime, I'm just like dying. If I could just skip all that, or find a way to skip it for myself and everyone else, like that would just be glorious.
Yeah. If you could choose where you'd be born, what country would you pick and why?
Mm, somewhere in Europe or Ireland, probably. Probably heavily leaning towards Ireland. Oh, no, Ireland or... Yeah, Ireland. Part of me really wants to say Japan, but I don't think I would have wanted to be... Japan seems like a place that I would really enjoy visiting and maybe living on a short stint, but I don't think I'd want to be born there. Ireland, because I definitely have a lot of Irish blood in me. I don't know. It's beautiful. The scenery is great. It would have been rich in culture, and there are just aspects of that just like fascinate me, like the castles.
Who's your all-time favorite celebrity crush?
Dylan O'Brien. I really didn't have to think about that. That's surprising. I have to think about everything.
Yeah.
I'm literally... Dylan O'Brien. That is a very, very handsome man.
Yeah.
Specifically because of his role as Styles on Teen Wolf.
Oh, wow.
I watched a lot of Teen Wolf.
Oh, Dylan.
When I was...
Okay, sorry. My mind went to Conan O'Brien. Sorry.
No! Oh my gosh. No. Nothing against Conan O'Brien. A little bit out of my age range. Yes, no, Dylan O'Brien. Styles from Teen Wolf. He played this like really goofy, nerdy, sweet guy, and like he's super funny, hands down. My kryptonite. Derpy, goofy, handsome boys that are sweet to everyone and mean well and look out for everybody.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So staying in that celebrity category, if you had the chance to switch lives with one celebrity from today, who would you pick and why?
Is it permanent or is it just for a day?
Permanent.
Oh, yikes. That changes my answer. Oh my God. I thought I had this figured out. I was ready.
It's okay. It's fine.
Permanent.
I mean, I would like to maybe try and live the life of Kim Kardashian for like a while, even though I do not like her whatsoever.
You know, completely sidetrack. I am not a big fan of like the whole Kardashian
Same.
hoopla. Like I just don't get the whole like reality show, like all about being like more famous and absurd.
Yeah.
But so as a longtime American Horror Story fan, I was very skeptical about the new season that was coming out.
Oh yeah.
Because Kim Kardashian is in it and she plays a main character.
Oh my God. Is that like season 13 or 14?
Yeah, it's a not Cobweb. It's the one with the spider on the front. I can't remember. She fucking killed it, and I loved her, and I could not believe it. I could not believe that I liked her in it, and my mind was blown. Anyways,
It's fun.
I would say it was permanent. Maybe Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a lot going for him. He's really sweet, and he's got like a level head. I feel like I could.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be comfortable in like that lifestyle, like, or not. Well, maybe not. Well, yeah, obviously I'd be comfortable being rich, duh. But like, you know, like you think like you got to think like if you like go into some celebrity's life, like that celebrity has views and has like made friends and built their life around all these people, and those people are going to be the people around you.
Yeah.
And so that like I feel like, and it would him or Emma Stone.
Oh wow.
I could dig being Emma Stone. If it was going to be temporary, I was going to say Elon Musk, but you ruined it.
Oh my
Because I want to be Elon Musk for a day so that he can be miserable being me and I can give away all his money and then come back to being me.
Oh, if that's the case, then I would be Mr. Beast for a day or
Oh, see, that's a good one. That's why I would just love to see, like, I would just like go and just, I would donate all of Elon's money. Like, like maybe Venmo myself, like, like a little bit. But other than that, I'm just going to like donate everything out.
Every time
And just-
someone says Elon Musk, I cannot imagine what perfume he would have. Like Elon Musk. Musk on its own just
Ew.
disgusts me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a favorable.
So,
and I'd give Twitter away
X.
so someone can fix it.
Yeah. I don't
Twitter,
call it X.
it would be Elon's X after that, actually, like X.
Get it? I get it now. Yeah. What are some of your plans for 2024?
So I've decided that I want to get into first of all, I'm looking for now that I'm done recovering from surgery and stuff, I am looking for a part-time work from home job to supplement my streaming. I'm looking forward to that, which is regretfully probably going to pull me away from my community a little bit, but it is the cost of the world in this economy. I also want to branch out into more YouTube content, which I kept saying last year. I kept saying like, I want to do YouTube stuff. But this year I'm making it a resolution to actually start recording some games that I play offline, like in my me time, and uploading the VODs onto YouTube. And I also, I used to really, really, really enjoy singing. And before this year is over, I want to record a song.
Oh my God.
That I'm very happy with.
Oh my God.
And get it uploaded somewhere.
If you need any producers, my field is vocal production, so send it my way.
Oh, okay.
I did not know you sang.
I do. I have a couple tracks out on Spotify that I did with a friend that was more into industry. They're not crazy good or anything. I don't share them very frequently.
Oh my God.
But they didn't do terribly, but my tracks specifically were apparently very, very popular and played a lot in Europe.
What?
I don't know. It made me want to at least record something like a cover of something, like just like a song, because like I was a choir kid all through school, and I did competitions. Fun fact, I also auditioned for American Idol.
Oh, wow.
Which is super fun. And then when I didn't make it through that, I stopped singing altogether for the most part. But I enjoyed it. I loved it. It brought me so much joy, and now I only do it in the shower. And I want to... Music is incredibly important to me for conveying emotions, just like movies are. And I want to do something with that this year. That's my mini project for myself. At least one song. It doesn't have to be an original song. It doesn't have to be anything that I write. But like it can be a cover, but something that I like and I'm proud of.
You're gonna have an original. Like I'm not gonna let go of you like in that part, because like we must collaborate, because I'm desperately looking for someone, and that's my chance. So I do have like a dancey track called Feels Like a Lifetime. It is so catchy. I'm gonna send it your way later on once I like finish writing the song, which I've been saying I want to finish since last year, but like keep getting distracted.
That's the way it works. It'll probably be a while before I get to it. I'm struggling a lot with my breathing and congestion right now, but hopefully that's like a very temporary thing that I can get back to like some kind of normal soon.
Yeah. I mean, when I write, it doesn't take that long. It takes like 10 to 20 minutes when I write a song, even in French or Arabic, or like I've tried writing in Russian at some point. So final question in this segment, using just one or two words, how would you describe 2023?
Inadequate.
Wow. Mine would be like fuck off. That's how I describe it.
Yeah. I was trying to think of something that was like negative, but not like completely negative, because it wasn't all bad, but like it also wasn't good. My struggles with health and the American healthcare system
Yeah, understandable.
were
Mhm,
inadequate.
mhm. Well, yeah, that's brief and short. That's what she said.
Oh no.
Like, honestly, how could you not, like, really drop by and say hi to that person? Like, this adorable streamer called Kit or MrKitsuneSoba. Like, how could you not fall in love with his personality? How could you not fall in love with, like, his cheerful side? Like, I just want to go on and on and on, but we have a time cap, so I don't know. Like, let's move on to segment 3 now, which are like the mini games. So I've added a fun little mini game, or 2 mini games actually, before we get intense on the mental health in the next segment. So in this mini game, I will name a set of 3 games each time. You will have to tell me which one you'd play, which one you'd delete from existence completely, that no one else can have access to, and to a point of no return, and then uninstall. Like, play once, either all the way through, or just like give it a go and then uninstall. And it's kind of like kill, marry, sleep with.
Yeah.
The games also
I was gonna
include
say,
the whole franchise. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Good to know.
Call of Duty, Counter Strike, Battlefield.
I would. To be 100% honest, I've never touched Counter Strike. So I don't know.
It's just like the mother of these games. Counter Strike came first, then Call of Duty.
Battlefield is definitely delete from existence.
Okay, to me it's Call of Duty.
I wanted to say Call of Duty, but I'm thinking of like Butterfly Effect and Call of Duty. While I don't care for Call of Duty, mostly they have made some strides that set some paths for other games. So I would be afraid to
Okay.
delete it from existence. Battlefield just sucked though. So Counter Strike, I guess I would play since I've never played it before, and Call of Duty, I would play for 5 minutes and then uninstall.
Fair enough. Fair enough. This is kind of tricky question. This is kind of a tricky one. Apex, PUBG, Fortnite.
Fortnite is obviously my play. I love Fortnite.
Well,
I love the whimsy, the collabs, and all the different like skins in the universe.
Let's not forget Lego
definitely-
as well.
Definitely, yeah, Lego, and now there's racing too. I'm definitely playing Fortnite.
Oh yeah.
We can delete PUBG from existence,
Oh wow.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that would have any negative ramifications, and I'm just not a fan. Apex, I guess I would uninstall.
Okay. So
Play maybe a little bit and then uninstall.
yeah. So Doom, Quake, Diablo.
Oh fuck. But okay, delete Doom from existence.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm deleting Doom from existence. I apologize. Diablo is going to be
I've played forever.
yeah, Diablo is going to be my play, and Quake would be my uninstall.
Okay.
I have very fond memories of Quake from when I was a kid, but to be honest, I don't remember a lot about it, and it's not one that I've kept up with. So,
Okay. So the following has a game that you're a content creator for: Phasmophobia, Demonologist, Ghost Watchers. Yeah. That's when I first got introduced to you through Demonologist.
It is. To be honest, Ghost Watchers is going to be my delete from existence.
Fair enough. Mine would be Phasmophobia.
It's hard for me to pick between Phasmophobia and Demonologist. I am a content creator for Demonologist, or
Yes.
well, technically. There's been some disconnect there, and I want to say I just don't. I am not on solid ground with I am not 100. I can't say that I'm 100% sure how long Demonologist will go for.
Okay.
Whereas I feel like Phasmophobia is not going anywhere, and I know that like as a cult classic that is constantly being updated, I think that it will be like a game that will go for eternity, constantly with new updates. Like it was the original ghost hunting game to me.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah.
Like it's where like the idea for Demonologist and stuff, like I mean it's not the same, but it's where like those types of games like Ghost Watchers, Demonologist, like all of those were like I feel like that's kind of where like they started. So I would say Phasmophobia would be my play.
Yeah.
And Demonologist would be my play. I would play it a lot, but it would be my uninstall.
Okay. Pokemon, Pal World, Temtem.
I guess I'm gonna delete Temtem from existence because I've seen a trailer for it once, but I honestly don't know anything about it.
I played it and I'm not impressed.
Not impressed? Is it also your delete from existence?
Sadly. I would play it again though, but
Pokemon is gonna be my play because I know Pokemon's not going anywhere and
Big
there's always
time.
gonna be a new one to play.
Big time, yeah.
And Pal World will be my uninstall for now. I don't know. That might change down the line. Who knows?
I miss playing Pal World. I haven't touched it because I didn't even finish it yet, but still like
I got pretty far and it turns in, it just feels like to where it gets to a point where it's nothing but a grind and you've got most everything and it's just kind of meh.
Yeah. So Stardew Valley, Disney Dreamlight Valley, and Peria.
Shut the fork up. No.
Well, group them together.
You made me choose between Stardew and Palia. Okay. Well, Disney Dreamlight Valley is my delete from existence. Easy choice on that one.
Yeah, mine would be Pelia, because
I've come through this microphone.
No,
and I will fight you.
Because I've had unspeakable issues on my end on the Switch, trying to connect.
Oh yeah, it's very buggy on the Switch. And to be fair, the game is very buggy in general. But
when I tried downloading it on the PC, it just refused to launch. It kept reinstalling over and over again, 27 times. I think I told you about that.
Yeah. I think I tried to help you troubleshoot it at one point.
Yeah.
It's definitely had its bugs. I haven't had anything to the extent that you've had, but it is the first game that they've ever made, and it's free, and they're like constantly putting out new content, and it is really fun. And I don't know any other games that are like Disney Dreamlight Valley or Stardew Valley that are multiplayer the way Palia is. So Palia is definitely going to be my play. I love that they're always putting out new content. I love that it stays engaging. I love that I can play it with my friends. I love that it's free. And they're also really transparent about their issues, which is important to me. Disney Dreamlight Valley.
It is my all-time play game. I would play it forever.
The stuff that they did with like saying it was going to be crossplay and all of that, and just like
they're bringing it slowly. They just got multiplayer, but the thing is, I'm dreading it might be in the DLC. That's what I'm scared of.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're going to. That's probably one of the most microtransaction heavy games I've ever seen. With the fact that they're charging for DLC, plus they have an online store, plus when they announced it and people bought it, they said that it was going to be cross progression and cross platform.
Oh yeah.
And now, in order to access cross progression or cross platform, since the game's not going to be free anymore, you have to buy it on every console that you want. So you have to buy the game like 2 to 3 times to play it on.
When was it free anyways? It was never free.
It was free on Game Pass.
Oh yeah, no, but like my save file just like decided to delete on PS5, so I was like, that's interesting. Then I got it on the Switch. I'm like, okay, now I'm at a point where like Stitch cannot mess with my game anymore, because at some point Stitch used to glitch the game.
What they originally said was that the game was going to be free at launch, but if you wanted to play during early access, you could buy the Founders Pack and play during their EA. So people bought it. People spent money on the EA thinking that when the game was free, they could log in, download it for free on any console they wanted, and access cross progression. And now they went back on that and said that everyone was going to have to, like, you were going to have to buy it on every console to access it, which wasn't what people had signed up for, but people had already invested money into it and a lot of time. And the fact that they were announcing so much was going to be in DLC, I don't know.
Yeah.
It made me mad, so I'm putting it on my delete list.
Okay.
And Stardew
enough.
would be my play and uninstall, because that's what I do with Stardew.
Fair enough. Okay,
I play it.
Yeah, it's gonna get harder and harder.
No,
Visage,
don't do this.
Madison, and Five Nights at Freddy's. You're gonna hate me after that. I'm sorry.
Oh. FNAF is like the whole franchise, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it does sound like a gay porn movie. 5 nights, one guy, or two guys.
Actually, that's gonna be my play. No.
One cheesecake and unspeakable stuff.
FNAF would be my play, actually, because while I don't enjoy most of the games, I think I would enjoy Security Breach and that one that's like 3D where you're in like the mall in the 90s. And it's a huge franchise, and there are always going to be more games.
The movie is so good.
I just watched the movie last night. We watched it on Discord.
I've seen it twice, and I want to see it more. I was
super surprised that I liked it.
And
as much as I did.
What's his name? The actor?
Josh Hutcherson.
Oh my god! I'm drooling
from
right
Hunger
now.
Games.
I'm drooling right now. Stop.
So we know who your celebrity crush is.
Actually, he goes right next to Charlie Puth.
Oh, okay.
And Kat Dennings.
Oh my god, I love Kat Dennings. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Emma Stone would probably also be, if I had like a girl celebrity crush, it'd probably be Emma Stone.
Yeah.
I guess Visage is going to be my delete from existence.
Yeah.
And Madison will be my play and uninstall.
Fun fact, did you know that the game is actually called Visage, not Visage, and it means face in French? Yeah.
Oh.
Visage, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I like that.
It sounds more like a drag queen name, which I'm living for. Visage. Please welcome to the stage, Visage.
I've actually never played Visage.
Yeah.
I want to, but I've heard that some people like struggle with it a lot.
Yeah.
And like super puzzle heavy games, I struggle with too. I struggle with Madison a little bit.
Yeah.
The only reason I put Madison on my play and uninstall is because I think I would get bored playing it over and over again. It really is only, it's so heavy on jump scares. I feel like it's only really good as a one and done.
Yeah.
FNAF as my play because
so
I'll have new games to play eventually.
Yeah, so now we're gonna go into the zombie genre with Dead Island, Left 4 Dead, and Dying Light. We know which two I'm gonna pick, Dying Light and Dead Island, as play and uninstall. I've never played Left 4 Dead, and though I want to play it, but I have no other choice.
Dying Light is gonna be my delete from existence.
The second one was putrid.
I struggled with the parkour. I didn't like it.
No, on PC,
I should probably give it another. I should probably give it another chance.
On console, sorry, yeah. On PC, it's easy peasy. For me, on console, I was doing a co-stream the other day, and it took me like 25 minutes just to get to a part. When on PC,
I couldn't get out of the
5.
tutorial. I mean, I did get out of the tutorial, but like it was a struggle, and I played on console, and I was like, oh my god, no.
Oh no. On PC, it was like easy peasy because I was like mouse, and then on PS5 you have like the right analog stick to just to move, and I can't focus on doing both, but I got out of it.
I am a controller player, and I prefer controller, like even on PC,
same.
Maybe I would do better with mouse and keyboard, but I didn't like it. So that's my delete from existence.
Okay.
Dead Island and Left 4 Dead were literally like genre-defining games in their time. Like, I don't know how you could ask me to choose between these two.
I mean, I need to change one of these and put like Dead Rising at some point.
Oh yeah, Dead Rising is okay. It's good for like camp horror, I suppose. Dead Island and Left 4 Dead are. Left 4 Dead is going to be my play because there's more. Wait, no, but there is a new Dead Island though, but I haven't played it.
Dead Island 2, I love it. I finished it like 3 times.
I want to play it really bad. I just haven't been able to.
We can like try and play together at some point if you want.
Yeah, as soon as I get it, one day. Left 4 Dead's gonna be my play and uninstall, I suppose. As much as I love it, it is very old. There are only 2 of them, unless you include Back 4 Blood.
Oh yeah, oh my god. Yeah, I forgot about that. There was gonna be
Back 4 Blood was by the same team after they separated from whatever the company. I don't remember the names. But,
well, Dying Light.
So Back 4 Blood is technically Left 4 Dead 3. But
well, did you know that Dying Light and Dead Island have the same makers?
Really? I did not.
They have the same people, which explains why the same like zombie noises, some zombie models as well. But most of I love the aesthetic of like the Dying Light, that they have like most of them have Arabic names.
Ooh.
Yeah, Karim, and then Rais, which means in Arabic, which means the boss. Rais in Arabic. Then Karim means generous in Arabic as well, which are like names, basically.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't get to play a whole lot of Dying Light, so I didn't notice very much. But,
they're like at the very beginning in the tutorial part as well.
It's been so long. Whenever Dying Light first came out, I got it on launch day and struggled so hard with the parkour in the tutorial that I couldn't do it, and I haven't touched a Dying Light game since.
Oh yeah, no, I am at
Dead Island though. I played the shit out of Dead Island, and I loved the like when it first came out, the juxtaposition, like having like the tropical almost like I don't think it's in Hawaii. I don't remember where it's at, but like the tropical resort, beautiful scenery, like juxtaposed with like death and zombies and stuff. Like it was wild to me. I loved it. It was super cool. I played the heck out of that game. Kind of reminds me of like State of Decay, and it's gonna be my play.
Yeah.
Because there are at least 3 games, and hopefully there will be more.
Yeah. And Dead Island 2, you're gonna love it. But like Dead Island 1, there's... I don't know if you remember Sveti. Oh, you like Sveti, baby? We're gonna party. Like, bring some champagne and not the cheap shit. That's all I remember.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, that does sound familiar.
I love her so much. Every time my friend like randomly just quotes her, I'm like... I just roll on the floor laughing. And she quotes her exactly how Sveti in the game says it. With the same accent and everything. So, Alien Isolation. Don't hate me. Resident Evil.
I hate you.
Resident Evil. The Evil Within.
What? I can't delete any of those from existence.
You have a free Joker, which is a skip question, if you want.
No, I have to do it.
Okay.
I have to do it. I can't just back out.
Okay.
Resident Evil is definitely my play.
Okay.
Too many games. They're still coming. They're good. They're great. They're wonderful.
So
I love the characters. I'm invested in the universe.
So good. Yeah.
The Evil Within did a really good job of like being like Resident Evil with Silent Hill. Alien Isolation was absolutely fucking terrifying and wild for its genre. Evil Within, I'm gonna delete from existence. Alien Isolation is gonna be my play and uninstall.
Okay, fair enough. Dead by Daylight, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Evil Dead the game. I would play the heck out of Evil Dead the game.
I would play the heck out of Evil Dead the game if it was good, but it got nothing but awful reviews, and I heard terrible things. So that's gonna be my.
I've played it, and I've had nothing but a blast in it. Like I played Dead by Daylight, and it's nothing but slugging and suffering and gens repeatedly.
See, that's what I heard. That like everyone that I watched play Evil Dead the game, they said that they got to a point where like the balance was so bad and that stuff was so like out of proportion that it was. I
mean,
it was incredibly easy for like groups to just completely own matches.
Yeah, true.
On both the killer side and the survivor side.
It does get to this point, but like if you do know what you're doing, and if you're playing with like a group of 8 people or like 5 people, like one of them gets to be the killer, and then the other 4 would be survivors. This turns out to be so much fun, but because it also turns into like what's it called, prop hunt as well. which is such a fun part.
Interesting.
As the killer, you can only do it as the killer, but it has combat in it, which attracts me so much. So yeah. So which of these you said?
Evil Dead's going to be my uninstall from existence. I'm sorry,
It's fine.
it didn't do well,
It's
and it didn't do well overall. So it's the one that I feel like would have like the least
Yeah.
impact. Part of me wants to say DBD because you're right, it's a lot of slugging and it's really toxic. But if DBD hadn't paved the way for a lot of ASM games, I don't think games like TCM or Evil Dead would have ever been made.
Yeah.
So I can't delete it from existence.
Okay.
I've literally never played TCM, but I've watched friends play.
Same.
Like I've watched Relic do matches and stuff. Because of how toxic DBD has been lately.
Yeah.
As much as I enjoyed it for the first several years it was out,
Same.
the past year to year and a half, it's been awful. So it's gonna be my play and uninstall. TCM will be my play, even though I've literally never played the game before.
Yeah.
Because it is wildly popular, and from what I've watched, it does look fun.
I would delete DBD from existent. Like maybe give TCM play and uninstall, and then like keep on playing Evil Dead, which is very based, I know. But so the final
No,
one.
that's fine if you've played it and it's your
Yeah.
favorite. That's great. I haven't. Currently none of these games I play and enjoy.
I would have said
I
Friday
enjoy
the
DVD
13th.
sometimes.
I
but-
would have added Friday the 13th and would say instead of like Evil Dead the game, I would play Friday the 13th because I got to play it, and it's Dead by Daylight, but 10 times or even 13 times better than Dead by Daylight. It has such like more potential than any other Dead by Daylight has, but it's like dead now. So I'm very sad about that.
Yeah, they're like completely decommissioning it. It makes me sad too because it
Yeah.
had potential, but it couldn't expand past Jason. So I don't know how far it would have eventually gone.
I mean,
I think the DBD does have a lot of potential, but there are some very simple fixes that
Yeah.
are, well, it's simple to me, but I'm sure that there's a lot that goes in on the back end that
Yeah.
they're
yeah.
struggling, like that they struggle with, like implications that things could have that don't cross my mind. But it has a lot of potential, and it used to be great,
Yeah.
but it's just been bad lately. But I like to think they're very. I don't think that games like TCM or Friday the 13th or Evil Dead would exist if DBD hadn't become what it became.
Yeah.
And they are very huge supporters of the LGBT community. They have a very wide variety of
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
drag queens and stuff that do like they're into the fog and fog whispers. So
Yeah.
I love the community that they're going for. It just needs some work. So
Yeah. Yeah.
fingers crossed.
Hopefully, yeah. So Cyberpunk, GTA, and Saints Row. Mine would clearly be Saints Row play forever, GTA play on uninstall, and Cyberpunk delete.
That is also my answer.
Okay, fair enough.
Cyberpunk delete, GTA play and uninstall, Saints Row play forever.
Yeah, except for GTA 4. GTA 4 has like owns my heart. 'Cause of the story.
Mine's is it Vice City?
You're gonna love GTA 6.
We'll see. I might actually play GTA 6.
I will be playing nothing but GTA 6 upon release. For sure. Because now I am like hard going like crazy mad on Cult of the Lamb. It's a game I've always wanted to get. I won at a raffle and I'm going ham on it. I'm enjoying myself, even though I'm dying a lot, but it is so fun. I should have included that.
I really enjoy Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah.
I wish that I struggle with it,
It's,
especially on stream.
yeah, I'm adding it.
It's hard to keep up with because time passes.
Okay, so one impromptu question. Cult of the Lamb, Terraria or Don't Starve Together?
Cult of the Lamb, what? Or Don't Starve Together?
Terraria, Cult of the Lamb, Don't Starve Together.
I don't know if I know the other one. You said Terraria?
Terraria, yeah, Terraria. So it's kind of like
no, I do know what you're talking about. I've never played it, but my friends talk about it a lot. Oh, Cult of the Lamb or Don't Starve Together.
I mean, my favorite game of all time is DST, Don't Starve Together, which is play forever. Cult of the Lamb would be play and uninstall, which they can take roles, and then Terraria on delete.
Yeah, Terraria is definitely my delete. I don't know if I'd rather play. Don't Starve Together is probably going to be my.
I have over 1,000 hours in DST.
Don't Starve Together is going to be my play forever, and Cult of the Lamb is going to be my play and uninstall.
Fair enough. I've added another fun mini game to play. This is a very quick one. So it's like this or that. I'll give you like 2 things each time. First part is gonna be like objects. Second part is gonna be celebrities. Soda or sparkling water?
Sparkling water.
Okay. Milk or chocolate milk?
Chocolate milk.
Iced tea lemon or iced tea peach?
Peach.
Lipstick or mascara?
Mascara.
Personal vehicle or public transport?
Personal vehicle.
Okay. TV series or movie?
TV series.
Walmart or Target?
Walmart. I'm too poor for Target.
Well.
But
yeah.
if I was rich, Target.
Okay. Coffee or hot chocolate?
Coffee.
Okay, fair enough. Now we're gonna
That's an unfair question because I make my coffee by putting a pack of hot chocolate in it.
Oh my god! Wow, I need to try that.
It's so good. You just do that instead of using water. Like you can use like coffee with like a little bit of cream and add a pack of hot chocolate.
I mean, we do have blended coffee here, so yeah. So now it's with celebrities. Brad Pitt or Robert De Niro?
Robert De Niro.
Leo DiCaprio or Bradley Cooper?
Bradley Cooper.
Angelina Jolie or Jennifer Aniston?
Whoa, why?
My favorite actress and
Jennifer Aniston.
My favorite actress, great. Kelly Clarkson or Ellen DeGeneres? And I'll fight you on that.
Kelly Clarkson.
Justin Timberlake or Justin Bieber?
Timberlake.
Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera?
Ooh, fuck.
Britney Spears to me.
Now or like as a person or like music or like now or like young.
In general. Britney Spears all the way.
Yeah, Britney Spears.
Ryan Gosling or Ryan Reynolds?
Fuck! Why are you doing this to me?
I do it to everyone. Gosling or Reynolds?
Reynolds.
Okay. The Weeknd or Drake?
That was hard. Sorry, who?
The Weeknd or Drake?
The Weeknd?
Yeah, same here. Johnny Depp or Tom Cruise?
Johnny Depp.
Yeah. And Ben Affleck and Will Smith?
Will Smith.
So this is the final segment, which is the mental health part. In this segment, we will be talking about mental health, some sensitive subjects, which can be triggering for some due to some terms we use. Several life experiences Kit went through in 2023, mental health topics, everything in between. Today, we chose to speak about the impact of mental health on your Twitch experience as a streamer or viewer. So, as I said, some subjects might seem triggering, heavy, or just like bothering. So, be well aware as you listen. Feel free to either skip or dip out on this segment if you feel uncomfortable about some subjects. This also applies to future episodes too, so listen at your own risk or will. I've been like messaging Kid about like which mental health subject does he want to talk about, or whether he would rather talk about like an experience he went through. So he chose to speak about like mental health's impact on Twitch, like Twitch in general. So can you tell me more about like that side from your experience?
So I did want to it was very difficult for me to decide because mental health is something that I am incredibly passionate about. But I also did want to do something that was specific to me. And one thing that I have struggled with a lot, and in ways that are very different from ways that I have struggled with them in the past, dealing with mental health and the struggles that come with being a little neurospicy, as I like to say, instead of neurotypical, non-neurotypical, whatever. Yeah, neurodivergent. Neurospicy sounds way more fun. I love being spicy. It's been wow, the ADHD just really kicked in.
Yeah.
It's been
it's been 84
the word
years.
Spicy, and I just got distracted. Oh, don't mind me. No, my mental health experience has been focusing on trying to understand and take care of my own mental health has been something that I have I struggled with a lot in my early 20s, and it's something that I felt I had finally gotten a pretty good hold on going into my life and my career. As I was getting older and things seemed to be settling down, and then in 2021, I believe. No, 2020. I started having some issues with walking and simultaneously some breathing issues, and I was just really going through it. And
which was during the pandemic as well.
It was also during the pandemic. My job was closing. There was so much going on. While I was dealing with my health issues, when we went on reduced hours, I couldn't work. Which, it's the same story for everyone, right? We all dealt with this collectively, but I had to temporarily leave my job because of the health issues and the reduced hours and reduced staff. I physically wasn't capable of doing the job. And when it was over and things returned to more normal, I was capable of performing my job, with, as long as, I wasn't solo staffed and had assistants. I can't even begin to get into the work ethic of GameStop, but I will not. My point in that is when my health really nosedived, I technically had not been with my company long enough, even though I'd been there for 7 years, because I'd had to leave during COVID. So they refused to pay anything or give me any kind of whatever. And I was really struggling, and I couldn't walk. And come to find out, after talking to some doctors, I had some blood markers that they're still to this day not sure what they are. I'm still going through testing. And I had to have my right, I'd have a full hip replacement and part of the top of my right femur replaced. And that led me to Twitch, of course. Over the course of the procedures and surgeries they had to try to save the bone, and all of that. It was a really, 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 really rough time for me, and Twitch kind of saved me, if I'm being honest. But as things started to get back to normal and I wasn't debilitated anymore, I realized that I was struggling with my mental health in an entirely new way that was pretty foreign to me. And not, I don't want to say it's not something that people talk about, because I definitely see some advocates out there strongly representing people like me and many others. I struggle with, I have very severe ADHD. I suffer from depression, and I also have I have really bad anxiety. I struggle with panic attacks that sometimes literally get to the point that put me in the hospital. Depression that is literally crippling, and ADHD that is just as crippling. And one thing that I really noted, like so many people in the Twitch community are super positive about being like advocates for that, and like sharing their experiences. And I think that it's really important to know that, like, you're not alone. I know I see a lot of streamers out there that are wonderful advocates for their community and everyone else, but don't give themselves the same kindness. And I know I know there are also people out there that love hearing that, love hearing that support and advocation from a streamer about themselves, but also often forget to return that kindness to the streamer. I know, like, there's a lot of pressure on when you get into streaming that you have to have a schedule. You've probably heard me make jokes about myself about it the entire time. I still struggle with it. A lot of people struggle with
keeping up.
Like keeping up, having a lot of guilt for needing to cancel streams that they've scheduled. And I really, really, really think that, like, it's not something that can be talked about too much, that it is okay to give yourself that peace, because for a while I wasn't. And I was dealing with all of these health complications, healing from my hip. Not long after my hip, I got back. I was getting into normal. I was walking. Streams were doing great. I made content creator for Demonologist. Things were doing really good. And then I had to have another surgery. And that put me down and out again. And I just felt like I was I felt like I was going backwards. And I was, I was messaging some close friends that I've made over streaming over the time, and just trying to reassure myself. And then, and the whole time I was sick. Like, I was recovering from surgery. I had I developed from a lovely gift from my cats. I developed a abscess in the inside of my stomach, and had to have
Oh my god.
surgery on that, and then
Mm.
it like went like into like the muscle of like my abdomen.
Ouch.
It was not ideal. It was hard
Oh
to
my
sit,
God.
like I couldn't stream.
Yeah.
And the first surgery didn't take, and I had told everyone that I was coming back, and then I'd have another one.
Oh my god.
And then I was like, just kidding, I'm actually not back. And then I got back again, and then my internet went out. And this entire time I was trying to heal and trying to tell myself that I was fine, but like spending all of my time like being anxious and having all of these like just awful feelings in my head of not being adequate or deserving or good enough, that all of my downtime ended up not being downtime. You know, like,
Yeah.
it was like, you know, like, okay, well, you were away from streaming for, you know, like X amount of time. You should be, you know, like I felt like I should be coming back fresh and relaxed and like ready to go. I haven't streamed. I can't be burnt out. I haven't been streaming, right? Wrong. I spent every moment of every day thinking about the fact like, oh, well, look, Kit, you're not streaming today again. And when you keep beating yourself up about that, you're not actually giving yourself time to process and recover from what you're going through.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is just like the stress of feeling the need to create and feeling like, I don't know, maybe it's something that like corporate jobs have like drilled into our heads at this point. But it's like we often forget that we're people and that we deserve the same respect from ourselves, the same respect and understanding that we give to other people. Like, that applies to us too. And it's something that I struggle with all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And it makes streams very difficult sometimes. There are a lot of people out there that do this with like, that have chronic illness, that deal with mental health. And it's just, I don't know, we all need to remember that like, and one thing that I see a lot of people doing, and something that I've caught myself doing a lot, is when you get in your head about that and you're thinking about it and the anxiety is creeping in and you're struggling to hit the go live button, and
Yeah.
you start comparing yourself to other people.
Comparing like how?
Like thinking about like, you know, like going and looking and being like, oh, you know, like I haven't streamed. And I mean, I tell people not to look at numbers, and you shouldn't. Like, don't pay attention to numbers. But you know,
Yeah.
like, Twitch sends you a very nice, bright, shiny stream summary every time you're done streaming. So, you know, like to an extent, you're going to see them. And then, you know, like you go into like, you think about friend streams, or you see like these super popular streamers, and then you look at what, and then like you might look at what
Start
you're doing and just think like,
belittling yourself.
man,
I've been there. Yeah.
you're tearing yourself down, and you're like, look at this person, like look how many viewers they have right now. I mean, it doesn't even have to be someone you know. And you're just like, what am I doing wrong? I'm not entertaining. I'm not like, and I literally, these are things that I say, that I have said to myself multiple times. And just thinking like, what are you doing? And when your mental health gets really bad, like you can't look at that, and you can't, like, everyone's growth is different. Everyone's journey is different. It's not the same. You know, like this person might have all of these people playing the same game, and all of them are doing different things, and all of them have been around for different amounts of time. You just can't measure your success based off of what you perceive others to have, because you don't know. I guarantee you don't know the half of it, of what goes on behind closed doors, of how they feel about where they've been in the past to where they are now. Like, I don't know. It's something that I have fought with a lot. A big one for me, especially with my ADHD, is that I saw a segment by Markiplier the other day where he was talking about ADHD paralysis is a big one, a really big one for me, where like I have everything ready and prepared for me to do a stream. Like now that even that I am healthier, before when I wasn't, and I was fighting, like wrestling with the demons of depression about feeling an obligation to be live and not taking the time for myself to just like. I went from the fighting the demons of depression about feeling the need to be live or to be doing, and this doesn't just apply to Twitch, like this can apply to like lots of things, like feeling like the need to be doing something and letting your depression just rule your life, like all of that guilt of feeling like you're not creating, whether it's a stream or whether it's getting work done or whatever. You're spending so long pouring all of your emotion into feeling bad that by the time you're ready to be on a camera or to put in the work again, you're exhausted, like just drained, because you never got over the initial thing. Like, you were so worried about feeling guilty, or you're so worried about feeling guilty. You were so focused on your guilt that you never processed what caused you to not be able to be live or to be doing whatever you needed to be doing.
Or for example, like you feel like I feel sometimes like I'm pressured. Oh my god, I haven't streamed in like 2-3 days now. Oh my god, like, will my viewers dip? Like that. Those are like stuff like bother me. For example, next week I might not be able to be on like as much because of like my schedule, but I'm gonna be like worried about like, oh my god, I was live Sunday, I might be live Thursday, so there's a huge gap there, and I wasn't even like willing to do that. I was like, when I started having like face cam and everything, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give myself 2 days a week, even 3 days a week, and no matter how big the gap is, I'm just gonna stick with it. Now I go like I take a day off, then I stream the next day. But I was like, no, that's starting to burn me out. I don't want to do that.
And it's okay to be burnt. Like, it's okay to be burnt out. It's okay to take a break too. But like, we put like all of that weight on ourselves of feeling the need to stay relevant, to like don't forget about me. I want you to come back. I want you to be I want you to still be here, and I want to do more for you to keep you wanting to be here, but I can't. And you're just like pouring from this cup that you can't pour for. Like it's empty. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah.
So like it's okay, and there are going to be people that leave, and that's okay too. Maybe they'll come back. Maybe there will be new people that will come in. I have seen more people than I care to count find themselves in uncomfortable situations that anxiety and stuff keep you in, because you're you're worried about like, oh, well, what's gonna happen. Like, obviously not like anything that's like harming anyone or anything like that, but just like unhealthy, toxic environments.
Yeah, 100%.
That you get stuck there, because people are afraid of how people are going to react, and then you get all this anxiety about it, and it makes it hard to do anything.
Yep.
Like sometimes you just want to just not be like, just not be seen. You just want to hide under a rock, and then the guilt for not being live comes back.
100%. Yeah.
And then you're fighting with that.
The demons.
Yeah. The demons, indeed. My biggest one lately has been my ADHD has been really bad while focus has been near impossible.
So since you've mentioned ADHD, I'm sorry, but like, what's making your ADHD bad? Like, do you have impulsivity? Do you probably have like, you don't hyper focus on stuff? You're not medicated?
I do. I hyper focus very bad.
Yeah.
I don't know what makes my ADHD bad or worse. More worse. Is that a worser? Is that a word?
Well, worse is like the top of the word.
I don't know what makes it more intense sometimes than others, but there are times. So one thing that I struggle with a lot with my ADHD is avoidance, feeling like incapable of doing a task, and then putking it off, and then beating myself up for not doing it, and telling myself like I'll have everything set up like ready to go live, and then like sometimes before I go live, I'll find myself being like a half an hour to 45 minutes later than I planned on starting or told people I would start, because I just sit there and I stare at the screen, and it's just like my brain is like, this is so easy, everything's set up for you, all I have to do is hit live and then just hang out and play some games and engage with the community. And my brain is like, but we can't do it. And I'm like, but you have to. And then I just get stuck in like this limbo that's just like halfway in between, and then suddenly I don't even know how long it's been or how frequently I've been disconnected and just like fumbling around with like other little things, like I don't know, like all of a sudden feeling like, oh, maybe if I change the color of my Stream Deck icons or whatever, and then suddenly it's been an hour, and then and then you do it, and then when you successfully complete it, it's not over. Like it doesn't stop, because then when you're done, that's when that was so easy. Why are you like this? Like why? Like that took a couple hours. You had a blast. It was ready to do. You put it off, and you couldn't just get it done when everything was ready and there for you. You were late. You're undependable.
You had one job.
What made? Yeah, literally, my brain is like, you had one job, and I'm like, yeah, I know, and I didn't do it right. Shut up.
I call mine Nancy, or sometimes I call her Susan. Depends.
And it's so frustrating. And I see the posts on Twitter of people that are like, people screenshotting their DMs, and they're like, someone sending them a DM, and they're like, it's like, like, oh, you're like one of those streamers, you're like, they have like a DM from someone that was in their community that's like, oh, you're a terrible streamer, you can never keep with your schedule, people are subscribed to you to like view your content, like just ripping them apart.
Oh my god.
And you see those when you scroll Twitter now, and like you think to yourself like, oh,
why? Like,
fuck me.
Why do people do that?
God, me. I don't.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't know why people are the way that they are, which is a broad way of me trying to avoid saying a lot of
no one is better than anyone. Like, you're not
literally no one is better than anyone. And I saw a TikTok the other day, and it was a metaphor for ADHD, and I was like, I wish I could like send you like a link to like share so that everyone could watch it, because like this is not like my original like thought or anything, but they were talking about how like something as simple as like having ADHD.
Does it have audio? Like is it do they talk, or is it just video?
I believe that they talk, but I literally I don't know if I could find it again scrolling. I didn't share it or bookmark it. I just
if you ever happen to find it before the episode, which is like should be before the end of the month, do send it to me, I could like just add it in there.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The girl, basically she's talking about how her and her partner talk about how living with ADHD is like having to learn how to live in a house without lights on.
What?
And at first I was like, what?
Wait, did he like...
And then I was and she was like some people get really good at living without lights on. You know, like you learn your way around, you figure it out. Some people take medication, which is, you know, you get a flashlight. And then you can illuminate what you need to focus on without being distracted. And you can get things done. But the point is that when you struggle with things like ADHD, and I feel like this applies to a lot of things, is like a lot of mental health issues. And she's saying, you know, like some people learn to live in the dark, quote unquote, you know, like the metaphor. You know, they learn to get around in their houses successfully without the lights on. Some people take the medication. They've got a flashlight. It helps them focus. Neither are wrong. But the point is that you are never going to be able to live in a house with the lights on. And you can't constantly compare yourself to someone who does. Because everyone goes through different struggles. And, you know, like their struggles may be completely different from yours. Yours is the lights in your house. Theirs might be money. You know, like it's all different, and you just like you can't compare apples to oranges. And I was like, yo, that makes so much sense. And I think the whole like message was that, you know, like don't beat yourself up because you're not meeting requirements that you set for yourself based off of what you think someone else is doing and going through. It is okay, and it should not be stigmatized, frowned upon, looked down on. It shouldn't even be. I should not even be bat at someone needing the time to prioritize their health. And you cannot beat yourself up for needing the time to prioritize your health. And you can't look at someone else and go, oh, well, look, like they haven't missed a stream in a month. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, maybe, you know, like they're dealing with a different thing. You know, like you can't be in like
you can't look like at the same time as well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it applies to that too. Like you can't lurk everywhere. You can't always chat. You can't make every stream. You can't feel guilty for not being in a stream, because essentially what you're saying to yourself in that moment is when you're beating yourself up for missing a stream, you're not beating yourself up for missing a stream. You're beating yourself up for having a mental health struggle.
Especially when that is
not okay. It's not fair to you.
Especially when you have like a diamond or a sword in the channel, and then you feel obligated to be there every stream. I tell the people who have these in my channel, I'm like, you don't have to be there. If you have like a spare minute, I only want 60 seconds. Just that. Say hi and then leave. If you're unable to do that at all, you don't have to. You keep what you have. It's not a thing I'm like forcing my gun on your head and like you have to be here or else. No, I understand that you have a life. I understand that you have duties, but like if you have like a spare minute and you're like passing by, just say hi. That's all. So that's what triggers some people's anxiety as well. Like, oh no, I'm a VIP in his channel. Oh my god, he's gonna take away my VIP, for example.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I feel like that's also like that's something that is also perpetuated by toxic environments where people do things like that, and that's also not okay. And it's okay to step away from places like that. You didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
And I like that's why like I have like a segment typed up for my mods. Like if you ever join my Discord, I'm obviously Blue. I know you're in there.
Of course.
My my mod rules and expectations are posted publicly. It's not like a private channel.
Publicly. I was gonna say I'm not a mod.
No, yeah, that they are posted publicly to everyone, so that anyone that ever applies for being a mod or has questions about what my mods do or whatever, it's there for everyone. I'm very transparent about it, and one of the main things that is outlined in my mod stuff is that I am responsible for modding my stream. You do not. I do this. I get subs. It's how I make my living right now. You're like, I would love to be able to pay my mods. God, please, that would be the dream. But like, you're not getting a paycheck out of this. I don't expect you to be here. You are a valued community member that I trust explicitly, and I am giving you the ability to mod if you are already here and want to watch a stream that day. And that is the extent of my expectations. I mean, obviously, other than that, I've got like, okay, if you want to mod, here are some like examples of like how to handle certain situations. You can even like copy paste this if you're uncomfortable typing up your own thing, whatever. But
yeah.
Like that's my main thing. Is like, I don't want it to ever be an obligation. And I also try to once every month, every other month, I try to have like a mental health check-in with the community. And I try to be very public about like talking about stuff like this. I have talked about my own experience with self-harm. And I have talked about I've gone into many a personal detail, and I encourage people to do the same, because one thing that I think that is the worst is that because so many of us that struggle with this kind of thing, we feel ashamed to talk about it. And that's what it's not as prevalent now, but a lot of us, the way that we grew up in, like, we're seeing a positive trend in people being more open about dialoguing about mental health, but it's something that is nowhere near done or where it needs to be.
Yeah.
And being able to talk about it is something that I highly encourage. I mean, I'm only human.
Yeah.
I have limits to things that I can like handle when I'm live on camera, because I have to keep, like, my composure and that kind of stuff. So I've got commands that make sure that I am safe. Like I've got like a spoons command that's, just like, hey, like, we're a little bit low on spoons right now. Things are getting heavy. Let's migrate this to Discord so that we can talk about it after stream, like whatever.
Yep.
Yep. But like, that's another big thing is like, I feel like a lot of people are kind of, something that I struggle with is that I feel like the anxiety makes it hard to tell to be open with your community about like how stream specifically affects your mental health.
Yeah.
When you struggle with like chronic issues, because you're always worried about making them feel bad, like making them feel like they're causing you stress when like that's not what you mean. But it's something that I think that it would be very beneficial for people to be more open about that kind of thing and encourage that kind of like dialogue with your community, whether it be, it's not for everyone to do on stream. I say it's hard to maintain composure behind a camera and deal with, let's be real, dealing with your emotions is hard in general. But it's hard to do it on camera in front of an audience and try to, like, articulate your words. But like, don't be afraid to like open up about that. It's not anything to be ashamed of. And I'm very much Alice saying I give myself very good advice right now. But the more that I talk about it and put it out there, I've got to believe that the better it'll be. Like, or not the better I'll be, the better I'll get at it.
Yeah.
You know, like you
Yeah.
have to be your number one advocate.
Mhm.
And I think that's something a lot of people forget.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
A lot of us that struggle with mental health, I feel like we all give so much out because we understand.
Yeah.
And we hand out, it's like having this like stack of papers that's like when you hand it to someone, or like a tickets, like ticket, let's just say tickets.
Yeah.
You have like all these tickets, and like when you give one to someone, it helps them feel like understood and seen and gives them just a little bit of peace. And you go around and you hand them all, and like you hand them out, and then they're all gone. And then who gave you one?
Yeah.
You know? And and sometimes what's really important, like it is lovely when someone else can step in and give you one. You have to remember that sometimes you have to keep one for yourself because you deserve it. And that is very much easier said than done. But I guess a whole thing about mental health with Twitch and just like your experience with the community is that, you know, like someone that doesn't struggle with mental health, that is live 5 days a week, like clockwork, that, you know, can like do all of this, like you can't take the weight of all of these expectations that circle the internet and apply them to yourself and say, oh, why am I not doing what this person is doing? Because it's not fair to you. And like, we spiral and we deal with all of this anxiety and we deal with all this stress, and
because you compare yourself to others. Yeah.
And we're afraid to talk about it because I don't know about everyone else, but
yeah,
I know for me, when I don't talk about it, it's because I'm ashamed.
Yeah.
I am ashamed of the fact that I'm not doing better, and I'm ashamed about the fact that I'm ashamed about it.
Yeah.
And it just makes me shut down and spiral. And
yeah.
The reality is we don't have anything to be ashamed of. We don't have control over this. We can't say, oh, it's a stream day. Depression, if you could step outside for a little bit. It's time for me to go live. You can come back in when I'm done. That's not how it works.
Yep.
It wouldn't be a diagnosed issue if we could turn it on and off. We just leave it off, obviously.
It's one of the things you cannot control. Yeah. Sadly.
Yeah. And we put a lot of unnecessary weight on ourselves. And one of the best things that we can do is to talk about it. But my main thing is it's okay.
Yeah.
To not be able to stream.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be running a fever.
You're doing it for
you don't have
yourself.
to have you don't have to have COVID. What was it? I was on Threads the other day, and someone posted they were like, oh, I've got COVID. I don't feel good. I'm gonna take this week off so that I can feel better, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Someone commented on it and they were like, well, I had COVID last week and I streamed every day and managed to push through. You can do it. I have faith in you.
I mean, body to body, it differs.
Yeah.
You might have had
how many different strains of COVID are there?
Yeah.
And that's just that just plays right into the metaphor. And personally, that was a whole thing. You don't need to you don't need to look for reasons to tell me that my reason is invalid, because there is no reason that is my invalid. It is my reason.
Yeah.
It is okay to set a boundary. It is okay to have.
Not be okay.
It is 100% okay to not be okay. You don't have to be running a fever. You don't have to have COVID. You don't have to. Your internet doesn't have to be out. You don't have to. Like whatever. Like, it's okay to just not go live. And I feel like streamers don't get told that enough.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to need a minute. You put a lot of energy out into the world, and sometimes you just got to recharge that battery.
Yeah, 100%. Kit, we're sadly reaching the time cap, and I really want to talk more, but that's all the time we have. I'm really sorry.
You're fine. No, I'm sorry. I was rambling there for a little bit. I get heated.
No. I am enjoying every single moment. I even opened up, which I rarely do, So that was a really fascinating episode. I got to know you better. I got to know you more. That was really interesting. I honestly want to talk more, but we will have another encounter. That's not going to be the only episode. Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Yeah, there's going to be another year ahead. We're going to catch up later on. But everybody who's listening, please, if you have a spare follow, it's not like you're paying for it or anything. Just follow MrKitsuneSoba. Please check him out on Twitch and make sure to just do whatever you need to show him love, support. I vouch he's doing his utmost best to bring quality, and I've been there. And you can scream at me all you want later on if you know me. If you don't know me, Lucifer TV on Discord, add me, scream at me, just swear at me. I don't care. Just, I give you my word. You're gonna love his content. You're gonna love everything he does. Just do me this favor and follow him. Amazing, supportive, wonderful. Of course, all cards have been played on this episode. Kid, thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Any day. And as I always say, guys, please take care of yourselves. Look after yourselves, and remember that you matter most. I'll see you around, guys. Bye.